Every single day, in every single way, you should be challenging yourself to get better. Now, that looks different for every single person because we're at different places in our life. We have different goals. We have different things that we're prioritizing, so on and so forth. So if you have not watched the video where I break down the 33% rule, at the end of this video, I'll have that card. There'll probably also be a link down below. I urge that you check that video out because I break this down much more clear and I go much more in depth. But really quick, if you haven't seen this, I'm gonna go ahead and break this 33% rule down. If you take a peace sign or a Mercedes emblem, basically a circle with 3 lines, and you break it down evenly, you have 33% of health, wealth, and happiness. So you need to understand what is your priority right now. Again, remember I said this is gonna be different for each and every one of you guys. When I was starting out, my priority was wealth. All of my energy, my time, effort, and energy went into wealth. Now, the reason why I'm breaking this down is because you only have 100% of time, effort, and energy. When you try to do multiple things, what you do is you divide that time, effort, and energy. If you're trying to focus on all 3 of these independently, each and every one of those areas can only get 33% of your attention. It's safe to say if you put 33% of attention, time, effort, and energy into something, you're not gonna get 100% of the results like if you were to put 100% in. So the first step in this framework I'm gonna teach you in this video is being very clear in setting the expectations on what it is that you need to focus on. Now, in order for you to get exceptional results, monumental results, I mean quantum changing results, you need to focus on this one thing. So identify for you right now what it is. And if you're following this video, get a piece of paper, map this out, draw this chart, and let's do this together. That way you can get results. Number 2, you need to dive a little bit deeper and identify the why behind it. Remember, if you really want to get those monumental results, we're focusing on one thing and then we're backing it up by a deep why. So many people say that their number 1 goal is money. It's going to be easy for a lot of you guys to think that right now, but I urge you to really dig deep and identify, is it really money? For me, it was money, but I really didn't start to make life-changing money, and I really didn't get to the next level till I understood why it was money. So let's say you choose money, and money is the thing that you are focusing on right now out of health, wealth, and happiness. Out of those 3, let's say you choose wealth, okay? Well, on the backside of this wealth or this money, this wealth creation, what is your why? So up here you can put why, but you want to identify the deep root as to why you want to focus and prioritize all your time, effort, and energy on wealth creation or on money. For me, it was because I was broke. For me, it was because I always struggled. For me, it was because I always seen my family struggle and we lived in poverty, and it caused a lot of pain, a lot of turmoil around. But that wasn't deep enough. Just wanting to be rich, just wanting to be making a ton of money, just wanting to have nice stuff is not a real why. It's a pain point. All the times I reflect back on when I made a ton of money, there was emotion that caused the motion in order for me to want to do the thing. And this was an emotional feeling. For me, I see my mother struggle. For me, I was engaged, we were becoming married, my wife had a son, we then had a son, we were struggling. I was working 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. We were struggling, we couldn't get ahead. My wife was an immigrant, she couldn't get paid more than $8 an hour. We just couldn't get ahead. And I wanted money because I wanted to change my family's life. I didn't want money just because I wanted cool stuff. I didn't just want money or wealth because I wanted to live a better life. It became bigger than me because it became for my wife and my children and my family and my dynasty and my legacy, my last name. This is a why. So yours may be differently, but you need to dig down deep. If you want to create wealth because you want a Lamborghini or a mansion on the beach or you want a Rolex, that is not a why, and that cause, that pain, that emotion is not strong enough to make you deal with the things that are going to come with you creating this success. Now, this is deep, and I'm going to dig a little deep, and I want you guys to dig deep as well, because the 1% has what the 99% does not, because the 1% is willing to do what the 99% will not. Regardless if you choose health, wealth, or happiness, there are going to be objections, self-limiting beliefs, internal doubt mechanisms built in from previous scenarios in your life. There's going to be times where things get tough and you want to give up. And if your why, this right here, is not solid, it doesn't have a true meaning, it does not cause enough pain, enough emotion to make you want to be resilient and push through all of these things that I just spoke about, you're going to fail. You know the reason why people aren't successful? Because they give up. There's only 2 true failures, not starting or not giving up. So if you start and you don't give up, It's inevitable, and you will be successful, and regardless if it's health, wealth, or happiness. So for me, I wanted the stuff. I was always poor. I never had nice stuff. I wanted the stuff. When my life really changed, when my game really changed, is when I became engaged and then married and then had my first child, and I realized it was bigger than me. So losing money and not getting results no longer mattered. Not being able to figure something out, struggling, studying all day, all night, barely getting any sleep, betting it all on this dream, on this entrepreneurship journey, it no longer mattered, and I no longer was afraid because I had a why that was strong enough. So write down your why. Again, it can be one thing, it can be two things, it can be three things. And if you don't have this identified, write this down. So write your thing, health, wealth, or happiness, draw a line, put your why, and list it out. And your why needs to be strong enough to the point where you would lay your life down in order to accomplish it. If you look at back in the day when there was lords and ladies, there was knights, there was kingdoms, literally knights and the people within the villages would lay down their life at a heartbeat to protect the kingdom. Why? Because that was the fortress where their children, their children's children, their family, their friends, and everyone lived within the walls of that castle or within that kingdom. So they would lay down their life protecting that. That was their why. If we go back before that and we look at in Japan and we look at samurais literally went into battle every single time understanding that they would probably die. If they were fearful of death, they wouldn't be able to fight at their highest level. They wouldn't be able to serve at their highest level. They wouldn't be able to do the best that they could do because they were fearful of that outcome of death. Therefore, they went into battle knowing that, hey, I'm fighting for this cause of loyalty or whatever it is. I'm fighting for this cause, and this why is so strong that I'm willing to lay my life down in order to complete it. So your why has to be more than I want a cool car. Your why has to be more than I want a good body so I can go on more dates. Your why has to be more than I just want to be happy so I'm not depressed. You have to literally dig deep and internally find and identify the root why, the root emotion, the root pain point that is so strong that you're willing to lay down your life and do whatever it takes in order to accomplish it. Okay, so number 3, you want to be very clear and you want to pinpoint the obstacles that you have. The easiest way to get to the next level is to beat the level that you're at. I'll use a very simple scenario because I'm in the games. If you're stuck on level 5, you got to beat the boss on level 5 to get to level 6. So within your life, identify the obstacle as to where you are. So this is your journey, and this is where you want to be. This is your desire, this is your goal, this is your happiness, this is your monetary value, this is your net worth. Now, in order to get there, this is you down here starting the journey. You have to pinpoint every single obstacle that you're gonna need. See, people live in this fairy tale life where they feel that they're just going to wake up one day and be at the prize, especially when it comes to entrepreneurship, and that's not the way it works. This is a goal, another good word for it, goal. Usually people have large goals, but they don't have a strategic way of getting to their goal or accomplishing their goal. So it starts like this, and let me know down below in the comments if you've fallen victim to this, because we all have, including myself. You start something, you know what the goal is. I want to make X amount of money. I want to do X. I want to become X. I want to get X results. Whatever your desirable outcome is. You start here, you're going around doing some stuff, you're all excited, and you're not anywhere near this goal, so you stop and you say, it's not for me. It didn't work out. This is a scam. Any of this sound familiar? The reason why this happens is because you do not have clear expectations and you do not have a roadmap. So the way I like to do it, these are called milestones. So what you need to do is create milestones that lead up like stairs from the start to the finish line. It is a lot easier to accomplish milestones, which are very strategically placed objectives or tasks that need to be done to get to the next level. So if this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3, and so on and so forth, you need to pinpoint where you are. Let's say you're at 2 and you're stuck at level 2. You need to identify exactly where you are. If you're at level 2 and you can't get to level 3, whatever that looks like for you, ask yourself this: what question, if I could answer it, would get me to level 3 or the next level? What objective, this is the second question, what objective, if I could complete it, would get me to level 3? Now, let me break this down in layman's terms. I'm gonna use another game comparison because I like gaming, right? If I'm stuck on level 3 and I can't beat the fire-breathing dragon to get to the next level, my question would look like this: how do I beat the fire-breathing dragon to get to the next level? The objective would be, how do I beat the fire-breathing dragon to get to the next level? Sometimes they're a little bit differently. Now, when you break it down by asking questions. Ask yourself the questions. What have I done that's not working? What have I not done that may work? Maybe I'm trying to fight the fire-breathing dragon with a regular sword and that doesn't work. Maybe there's an upgrade for a water sword, which does high damage against this fire-breathing dragon and will kill it and defeat it, allowing me to pass that objective and get to the next level. So all you have to do is strategically, don't worry to the left, don't worry to the right, stop looking at the victory, stop comparing yourself with other people and where they are. Identify, segregate that small little section where you are and ask yourself, what do I need to do to get to the next level? What question do I not know the answer to that will get me to the next level? What thing do I have to do that will get me to the next level? And if you do not know, that's what you do your research on, that little isolated task, that little isolated segment right here is all you focus on until you get to this next level. And you do this incrementally, step by step by step. Because what happens is so many people start here, and like I said, they're just looking at the prize and they see it so far away that they give up, because the true failure is not starting or giving up. Usually people start, that's the easy thing. It's the not giving up, that's the tough thing. So be very specific. Again, I highly suggest that you write this down and you identify where you're at, identify the prize, identify where you're at, and be very specific. That way you can overcome it and get to the next stage. All right, so next, number 4 is gonna be getting the tools, getting the coaches, using the software, using the systems, creating the SOPs, whatever is necessary in order for you to get to that next level, you need to identify it. We just talked about this recently in the last illustration. So once you identify where you are, you identify those questions, the easiest way to answer a question that you don't know is ask it to someone who knows it. So if you're trying to get to the next level and you're stuck, the easiest way to get there is to learn from someone who has already been there. This isn't some biased like subliminal thing because I'm a coach and a consultant and I have programs. This is just the truth. So many people ask me, Josh, what's the number one piece of advice you can give? And I usually tell them this: identify an opportunity and take action on the opportunity as fast as humanly possible. I became a millionaire not because I'm some guru e-commerce genius that nobody knows what I've done. I became a multi-millionaire because I identified an opportunity. My mentor was in manufacturing. He explained to me how e-commerce would be the future. I took action on an opportunity, which is learning and doing the research to learn the thing. Then I picked his brain. I asked him questions. I bought books. I studied on YouTube like you're doing right now. I literally, once I started to be able to have money and afford, I started investing in courses. The fast cut, the shortcut to success is to get the information from others who are successful. It's very simple. There's 2 ways that you can learn. You can learn through your own trials, your own efforts, your own blood, sweat, tears, and loss of money, or you can learn from someone else who has done all of those things. There is no way to shortcut it. There is no formula where you just wake up and you're successful or good at a thing. If you want to become a mechanic, you go to school to become a mechanic, or you get underneath the hood and you mess up. You smack yourself in the head with something, you break something, and it's always oftentimes going to cost more money and take more time to learn the thing yourself versus going and getting the coaching, going and getting the course, going and hiring the consultant, so on and so forth. Things will only work if you do the work. The Bible itself says that faith without works is dead. What does that mean? You can have the faith, you can understand what it is that you want and what the desirable outcome is, but if you do not do the work, nothing will happen. Remember, emotion causes motion. So you can have the emotion about something, but if it's not emotional enough, you're not gonna have any emotion, which means you're not gonna have any improvement. You're not gonna have any results. That's why at the beginning we talked about why. So make sure your why is on point, and most importantly, make sure you do the work. Regardless if it's health, wealth, or happiness, whatever area you chose, whatever you're identified that you wanna focus on, make sure that you do not give up. I talk about the 3 pillars to success. This is gonna help some of you guys out. Now, for those of you in the AMZ formula or in my coaching or consulting or part of my mentorship, I break this down in great depth. I actually am wearing it on my wrist every single day as a reminder. So the 3 pillars to success are patience, persistence, and resilience. These are 3 different levels. And when I attribute success, remember, the only way that you can fail is if you do not start or give up. So here is you, this is the start, here is the finish line. If you start, 50% of the battle is won. If you do not give up, the other 50% is won. This is where everybody gives up, because if you do not give up, it is inevitable that you'll be successful. So How do we start and then not finish when things get tough, when we lose money, when people say it's not working, when we start to internally not believe that the thing's working, when we're spending money and we're losing money? When all these things happen, we hit objections, barriers, all this stuff happens, how do we keep going? And it's following these 3 pillars right here. Number 1, you have to be patient. Being patient is knowing that the thing is going to work, but not knowing when it's going to work. That is very difficult. Hey, you're gonna be rich one day, but just stick at it. I can't tell you when. It could be tomorrow, it could be 10 years from now. That is very difficult, yet it is very true. Number 2 is persistence. Persistence is doing the same thing every single day, every single month, every single year, knowing you're gonna get results, but not knowing when you're gonna get results or not seeing tangible results or progress. Again, that is very hard. Resilience is losing money, hitting a wall, hitting an objection, having an internal disbelief, having a significant other not believe in you, having your family not believe in you, having your colleagues not believe in you, having the world not believing in you, falling on your face and getting back up and doing it over and over and over again, not knowing when it's gonna work. All 3 of these things are very hard. Nothing is easy about success. That's why the 1% of the economy is successful and the 99% are in the middle class or below. The 1% has what the 99% does not, because the 1% is willing to do what the 99% will not, and that's be patient, persistent, and resilient. And if you're patient, persistent, and resilient, when you start, half the battle's won. The way that you guarantee your success is by following this framework, which is the 3 pillars to success. The battle is won when you start and you do not give up. My first 3 products when I started my Amazon journey failed. I had to do all 3 of these things. Last but not least, accountability. Choose execution over excuses. Build some type of accountability system into this infrastructure. Whether it's a spouse, it's a best friend, it's literally you taking your phone out and saying, hey, remind me every single day at this time to do this, which I do, by the way. Whatever works for you, create some type of accountability system, because there's 2 components to becoming successful at anything that you try and anything that you want to become successful at. Number 1 is execution, meaning you have to start the thing. Number 2 is accountability, which ties into place with that persistence. Remember, the 2nd pillar in the 3 pillars of success is persistence. So in order for you to be persistent, you have to have accountability. So number 1, execute. Number 2, build an accountability infrastructure or mechanism into your life that's going to hold you accountable so you continue to deliver. You continue to do the thing, that way you can get the results. Remember, faith without works is dead. You can be faithful about your life changing. You can be optimistic. You can have good thought. But if you don't do the work and you're not persistent, you're not patient, and you're not resilient, your dreams will never come true. All right, guys, so I know this was a long one, but it was a super deep one as well, and hopefully you guys implement this. Save this, watch this a few times. Make sure you write everything down. Make sure you keep track of everything. Let me know down below in the comments what you're gonna be working on. Let me know what you thought about the video. Also, let me know any video ideas or suggestions that you have. I would love to do them for you or chat with you as well. I read all the comments. I appreciate the love. If you got any value whatsoever, just even one nugget, hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, do that right now. It takes 2 seconds. Hit the subscribe button. Next to that, click the notification bell. And after this video, there's some awesome videos that I talked about during this video that would help you get to the next level even faster. So make sure you click one of those and watch that next. See you in the next one.